The moon hung low in the sky, casting pale light through the skeletal branches of the dense forest. The place was known as Black Hollow, a stretch of woods that locals whispered about but rarely entered. Stories of strange disappearances and eerie sounds kept people at bay, and the few who dared to venture in often came out different, if they came out at all. In the autumn of 2023, three friends, Mark, Jenna and Tyler, decided to challenge the legends. They were avid hikers and thrill-seekers, always chasing their next adrenaline rush. Black Hollow was the perfect setting for their latest escapade. Armed with camping gear, flashlights and a map marked with the trails they planned to explore, they set off early one crisp October morning. The first few hours were uneventful. The air was cool, and the forest was alive with the rustling of leaves and distant calls of birds. But as they ventured deeper, the atmosphere began to change. The vibrant colors of autumn seemed muted, the air heavier. Even the sounds of wildlife faded into an oppressive silence. Jenna, weird, it's like the forest is watching us. Tyler, don't tell me you're buying into the ghost stories. Jenna, I'm just saying, it feels off. Mark, it's just a forest. Let's keep moving. We've got a lot of ground to cover before nightfall. By late afternoon, they reached a clearing and decided to set up camp. The clearing was dominated by an ancient oak tree, its gnarled branches twisting upward like skeletal arms clawing at the sky. Tyler joked that it looked like something out of a horror movie, but his laugh was forced. None of them could shake the growing unease. As night fell, they built a fire and tried to lighten the mood. They shared stories and laughed, but the oppressive silence of the forest seemed to absorb the sound, muting their voices. The darkness beyond the fire's glow felt impenetrable, as if the forest were closing in around them. Jenna, did you hear that? Mark, hear what? Jenna? It sounded like whispering. Tyler, it's just the wind. Relax. But Jenna wasn't convinced. The whispers grew louder, more distinct, until even Mark and Tyler could hear. Voices, low and guttural, speaking a language none of them recognized. The fire flickered, casting strange shadows that seemed to move independently of the flames. Mark, let's go to bed. We're just tired. Our minds are playing tricks on us. Reluctantly, they retreated to their tents. The whispers persisted, ebbing and flowing like a sinister tide. Jenna couldn't sleep. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of branches set her on edge. She finally unzipped her tent and stepped outside, hoping the fresh air would calm her nerves. The clearing was bathed in pale moonlight, and the ancient oak seemed almost alive, its branches swaying though there was no wind. Jenna froze. A figure stood at the edge of the clearing, just beyond the fire's dying embers. It was tall and shadowy, its features obscured, but its eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the moonlight. Jenna, Mark, Tyler. The figure didn't move. It simply stared at her, unblinking. Jenna backed towards her tent, her heart pounding. She tripped over a root and fell hard, letting out a yelp that woke the others. Mark and Tyler scrambled out of their tents, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. Mark, what's going on, Jenna? There was someone there watching us. Tyler, I don't see anything. Are you sure? Jenna, yes, I'm not imagining things. Mark, maybe it was an animal. Let's all stick together. We'll wait out the night and head back in the morning. But morning never came. When they awoke, the clearing was shrouded in mist. The sun was nowhere to be seen, and the air was colder than it should have been. Their map was gone, and so was the trail they'd followed into the forest. Every direction looked the same, endless trees, their twisted branches forming a canopy that blocked out the sky. Panic set in as they tried to find their way. The whispers returned, louder now, echoing through the trees. Shadows darted at the edge of their vision, vanishing when they turned to look. The forest seemed alive, shifting and changing to keep them trapped. Tyler, this isn't natural. We need to get out of here now. Mark, we're trying. Just keep moving. But the forest had other plans. As they pushed forward, they found themselves back at the clearing, the ancient oak standing sentinel. It was as if the forest were toying with them, drawing them back to the same spot, no matter which direction they took. Jenna! This is impossible. Mark, we'll figure it out. We just need to stay calm. As night fell once more, the whispers grew deafening. Shapes moved in the darkness, circling the clearing. The friends huddled together by the fire, their flashlights barely piercing the gloom. The figure Jenna had seen the night before reappeared, joined by others. Dozens of shadowy forms surrounded them, their glowing eyes fixed on the terrified hikers. "Tyler, what do you want?" The figures didn't respond. Instead, they stepped closer, their movements unnaturally smooth. The air grew colder, and the fire sputtered out, plunging the clearing into darkness. The last thing Jenna saw before the shadows engulfed them was the ancient oak, its branches reaching down like claws. Days later, a search party entered Black Hollow looking for the missing hikers. They found the clearing and the ancient oak, but no sign of Mark, Jenna, or Tyler. The only clue was a single flashlight lying at the base of the tree, its beam pointing into the forest as if beckoning someone to follow. The search was called off after a week. The hikers declared missing, presumed dead. But locals say that on quiet nights, if you stand at the edge of Black Hollow and listen closely, you can hear whispers carried on the wind. And if you're brave or foolish enough to enter, you might see 3 shadowy figures among the trees, their glowing eyes watching, waiting for someone to join them.